They once held your hand, guided your steps, and shared your dreams. They are the generation we call strong. But behind the wisdom, behind the smiles and stories, now they look at you with eyes that search for familiarity, yet struggle to find it. Caring for a loved one with dementia is a journey filled with love, challenges, and countless questions. In today's video, let's explore the resources and support available to help you navigate this journey with compassion and resilience. There's a silent epidemic no one's talking about. Mental health in older adults is in crisis, and most people don't even know it. When we think of mental health, we often think of young people, teens battling anxiety, millennials dealing with burnout. But older adults experience mental health disorders too, and often suffer in silence. Depression, anxiety, cognitive decline, even suicidal thoughts. These are not just part of getting old. They're real, treatable, and deeply underdiagnosed. The most painful part? Many older adults don't speak up because they've been told their pain is just aging. Depression isn't a normal part of aging. Depression is not a natural part of aging, but it's incredibly common among older adults, especially those who live alone, have lost a partner, are dealing with chronic illness, have reduced mobility or independence, are socially isolated. And it doesn't always show up as sadness. Sometimes it's fatigue, loss of interest, irritability, changes in sleep and appetite. And too often it's dismissed as just getting older, when it's actually a treatable mental health condition. Let's discuss loneliness, the hidden killer. One of the most dangerous forces affecting older adults today? Loneliness. As people age, they lose spouses, friends, social roles, and sometimes their purpose. Add in physical decline or mobility issues, and isolation sets in fast. And loneliness doesn't just feel bad. It's been linked to increased risk of depression and anxiety, higher rates of heart disease, poorer cognitive function, earlier death. Loneliness is as dangerous as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. But unlike cigarettes, no one's warning them about it. Let's now talk about suicide in older adults. Older adults have some of the highest suicide rates in the world. Why? Because they often feel forgotten. Because they don't see help as an option. Because loss, pain, and loneliness have built up, and no one noticed. And the most heartbreaking part? They're less likely to talk about it, ask for help, or seek therapy. This is the cost of stigma. This is what happens when society tells you to be strong instead of get support. What are some of the barriers to mental health support for older adults? Why aren't older adults getting help? Here's what they're up against. Stigma. Many were raised to believe that talking about emotions is weakness. Misdiagnosis. Symptoms are often confused with dementia, medication side effects, or just aging. Access, transportation, technology, and finances can all be major barriers. Underfunded care mental health services are rarely designed with older adults in mind. The system isn't just failing them, it's barely acknowledging them. Here's the good news. It's never too late to heal. Older adults can recover from depression, anxiety, grief, and trauma, just like anyone else. Therapies that work for younger adults also work for seniors when adapted properly. Talk therapy, support groups, medication when carefully managed, meaningful social interaction, and purpose-driven activities. The brain doesn't stop growing after 60. Hope doesn't expire at 70. Healing doesn't have a deadline. If you have an older parent, grandparent, or neighbor, this part is for you. They don't need perfection. They don't need a solution. They need connection. Call them, visit them, ask real questions, encourage them to talk about their feelings. Let them know they're not a burden. And if they need help, support them in getting it. Because no one deserves to feel invisible. Communication strategies to use. Effective communication can ease frustration and build trust. Use simple language, short sentences, and clear words help in understanding. Maintain eye contact. It shows attentiveness and respect. Be patient. Allow extra time for responses. Avoid arguing. Instead, redirect the conversation gently. For example, if your loved one insists on going to work, instead of correcting them, say, "Tell me about your job." This approach validates their feelings and encourages engagement, creating a safe and supportive environment. Safety is paramount in dementia care. Home modifications, install grab bars, remove tripping hazards, and ensure adequate lighting. Structured routine, consistent daily schedules can reduce confusion and anxiety. Engaging activities. Simple tasks like folding laundry or listening to music can provide a sense of purpose and joy. Here are some essential resources for dementia caregivers. Number 1. Educational materials. One of the most empowering tools for any caregiver is knowledge. Educational materials help you understand not just the condition, but also how to respond effectively to the daily challenges dementia presents. There are free downloadable guides and printed booklets that explain the stages of dementia so you can prepare for what comes next. Common behavioral changes and how to respond calmly and constructively. Communication techniques that reduce frustration. For example, using visual cues and speaking slowly, one idea at a time. Daily care tips, like how to assist with hygiene while preserving dignity. You don't need a medical degree to be a great caregiver, but being informed turns confusion into confidence. Look for resources that are written in simple language with examples and checklists. Some of the most helpful guides include titles like The 36-Hour Day, a classic for dementia caregivers. Caring for a Person with Alzheimer's Disease, your easy-to-use guide, which offers clear step-by-step tips. Print a few, highlight key parts, and keep them handy. When things get overwhelming, a well-placed tip can make all the difference. Number 2, support groups. Caring for someone with dementia can feel isolating, especially when friends or extended family don't understand what you're going through. That's where support groups come in. Support groups are spaces, both in person and online, where you can share your struggles without judgment, learn coping strategies from others who've been through the same things, and find comfort in knowing you're not alone. Some groups meet weekly, others monthly. Many are led by trained facilitators who understand the emotional toll caregiving takes. There are even specialized groups for adult children caring for parents, for spouses and partners, and for long-distance caregivers. Online groups, especially private Facebook groups or caregiver forums, can offer round-the-clock support. You can post a question at midnight and get multiple responses before breakfast. Remember, venting is not weakness, it's self-preservation. These groups remind you that your feelings are valid and your efforts are seen. Number 3, respite care services. Caregiving is a marathon, not a sprint. If you burn out, who will care for your loved one? Respite care provides temporary relief so you can rest, run errands, or simply breathe. It comes in different forms: in-home respite care, where a trained professional comes to your home to take over caregiving for a few hours or days. Adult day centers, which are safe, supervised environments where your loved one can socialize and engage in activities during the day. And short-term residential care, facilities that offer overnight stays, perfect for emergencies or when you need to travel. Even an hour or two a week can improve your mental health dramatically. Some programs are low cost or government subsidized, especially if your loved one qualifies for Medicaid, veterans benefits, or community grants. Call local senior centers or area agencies on aging to get connected with services in your region. Self-care is not selfish, it's survival. Number 4, legal and financial planning. The earlier you start planning, the better prepared you'll be when decisions become harder to make. Here's what to focus on. Power of Attorney, POA. This legal document allows you to make financial or medical decisions on your loved one's behalf when they are no longer able to do so. There are 2 types, medical POA and financial POA. You'll often need both. Living will and advance directives. These outline your loved one's wishes for healthcare, especially end-of-life care, and prevent guesswork later. Long-term care planning. Talk to a financial advisor about options like long-term care insurance, Medicaid eligibility and planning, managing assets and income, and government assistance for home modifications or paid care aids. Estate planning. Wills, trusts, and beneficiary designations should be updated while your loved one still has decision-making capacity. You're not alone. You still matter. Help is not only possible, it's your right. Let's stop whispering about mental health in older adults. Let's start the conversation. If this video gave you value, please like and subscribe, and be sure to check out our mental health education videos. Together we can help end the stigma surrounding mental health.